Hello students, welcome to the EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Richa Singh from Dairy Chemistry Department of ICAR National Dairy Research Institute. Today I am going to talk about bioactive compounds in foods and their role in health from paper Advances in Food Science and Technology. What is bioactive compound? First, we need to see what is food. Food has been viewed as a package of essential nutrients like vitamins, minerals, essential amino acids and fatty acids delivered in the form of protein, lactose and fat. A balanced diet provides carbohydrate, fats and proteins in sufficient amount so that to maintain the body weight and also meets the requirements of vitamins, minerals and trace elements. However, nowadays the food is becoming recognized as a remarkable diverse cocktail of unusual bioactive components including the complex proteins, lipids, carbohydrates and polynucleotides. What is bioactive? The term bioactive is composed of two words. One is bio and another is active. If we go in the etymology, the bio is arrived from the Greek word bios that refers to the life and active from the Latin word activus means with energy or involves an activity. So, the bioactive molecules are components of food that possesses biological activity, that they have the ability to modulate one or more metabolic process which results in the promotion of better health in addition to their nutritional value. So, in this module, we will learn what are the different bioactive compounds and how these bioactive compounds are distributed in the food chain. Thirdly, we'll also learn what is the role of different bioactives in the health promotion as well as in the prevention of disease in human health. The bioactive components in food can be divided into two categories. Number one, the nutritive bioactive compounds. That includes bioactive proteins, bioactive carbohydrates, bioactive lipids, bioactive vitamins, and bioactive mineral. The second category is non-nutritive bioactive compound. Generally, the non-nutritive bioactive compounds are secondary metabolites, molecules of food. It includes polyphenols, carotenoids, phytoestrogens, alkaloids, saponins, glucosinolates, monoterpenes, and organosulphur compound. Besides secondary metabolites, some phytosterols, enzyme inhibitors, and phytic acids are also non-nutritive bioactive compounds. Now, we'll start with the nutritive bioactive compounds. The following are the nutritive bioactive compounds. Now, the role of polyunsaturated fatty acid as bioactive lipid. The PUFA is linoleic acid and linolenic acid that is considered to be as a bioactive component. Linoleic acid belongs to the omega-6 family, contains 18 carbon and the 2 double bonds. It has been found that in the system, the linoleic acid is elongated to arachidonic acid that has 20 carbon atoms with 4 double bonds. Then gamma-linolenic acid that has 18 carbons with 3 double bonds and dihomo gamma-linolenic acid that has 20 carbon with 3 double bond. It has been found that arachidonic acid play a very important role in prostaglandin metabolism and also influence the thrombotic process. Next is the alpha-linolenic acid. The alpha-linolenic acid belongs to omega-3 family. It contains 18 carbon, 3 double bonds, and it can be elongated to the very famous fatty acids eicosapentaenoic acid, short form EPA, that contains 20 carbon atoms and 5 double bonds. The second is docosahexaenoic acid, that is DHA, 22 carbon and the 6 double bonds. Students, these EPA and DHA are very important for the proper fetal development, and they also affect the cardiovascular function. DHA is also a key component of the cell membrane and found abundance in the brain and retina. It has been found that DHA is required for the development of brain since from the childhood. Bioactive proteins. Nutritionally, proteins are source of energy and amino acids, which are essential for growth and maintenance. Functionally, they affect the physicochemical and sensory properties of foods. In addition, many dietary proteins possess specific biological properties which make these components potential ingredients of functional or health promoting foods. The biological activity of most of these proteins is attributed to specific peptide sequence referred as bioactive peptide. These peptides are inactive within the sequence of parent protein released during gastrointestinal digestion or food processing. They act as regulatory compound with hormone-like activity. Among bioactive proteins, there are milk proteins, egg protein, animal protein such as gelatin and fish muscle proteins, and plant protein such as corn, rice, wheat, and soya proteins. The bioactive milk proteins. It includes casein, alpha, beta, and kappa. Their functions are they act as iron carrier, precursors of bioactive peptides like casomorphins, casokinins, casoxins, casoplatelins, immunopeptides, and phosphopeptides. Next milk protein is beta-lactoglobulin. Its functions are it acts as retinol carrier, fatty acid binding protein, possible antioxidant peptides, and opioid agonist peptide beta-lactoferrin. The third milk protein is alpha-lactalbumin. It helps in lactose synthesis in mammary gland, acts as calcium carrier, helps in immunomodulation, acts as anti-carcinogenic, and opioid agonist alpha-lactoferrin. Immunoglobulins IgA, IgM, and IgG are milk proteins that provide immune protection. Glycomacropeptide GMP is a special milk protein that is antiviral and also bifidogenic factor. The lactoferrin is an iron binding protein that acts as antimicrobial, antioxidative, immunomodulatory, anti-carcinogenic, and also opioid antagonist. The lactoperoxidase present in milk also acts as antimicrobial protein. Similarly, lysozyme is also an antimicrobial milk protein which have synergistic effect with immunoglobulin and lactoferrin. Bioactive egg protein. Different egg proteins are as following that acts as bioactive. The one is ova albumin, that is phosphoglycoprotein. Second, ovotransferrin, also corn albumin, acts as metal binder. Ovomucoid inhibit the trypsin action. Ovomucin egg protein is a sialoprotein. Lysozyme is also present in egg and acts as an antimicrobial protein. Ovo-inhibitor egg proteins are proteins that inhibit the serine proteases. The ovoglycoprotein is also a sialoprotein. Ovomacroglobulin is a strongly antigenic egg protein. Avidin is a special egg protein that binds the biotin. The other bioactive proteins from animal and plant sources are as follows. From animal sources, the gelatin is one bioactive protein that acts as ACE inhibitory because on the action of enzymes on gelatin, it releases ACE inhibitory peptides. Similarly, fish protein also on action of enzymes like pepsin, trypsin and chymotrypsin releases ACE inhibitory peptide that are bioactive in nature. Bioactive proteins from plant sources are corn protein. The major corn protein is A gene that by the hydrolysis of thermolysine release ACE inhibitory peptide. Glutenin and prolamine are rice protein that also produce ACE inhibitory peptide. Gliadin and glutenin are major wheat proteins that possesses opioid activity. Soybean contains major protein glycinin that has anti-carcinogenic properties and also reduces high plasma cholesterol level. Lectins are also bioactives. Major proteins in lentils are carbohydrate recognizing protein that binds to cell promoting heme agglutination and antimicrobial effect. Lectins can reduce the digestibility and biological value of dietary protein, but they have protective effect on oxidative DNA damage, helps in cancer chemoprevention and play an important role in immune function, cell growth and body fat regulation. Glycomacropeptide is a special reference to milk protein. It's a carbon terminal glycopeptide. Sequence 106 to 169 released from the kappa-casein molecule on the action of chymozyme at bond 105 phenylalanine and 106 methionine. The carbohydrate fraction is composed of galactose, N-acetyl galactosamine and N-neuraminic acid. GMP inactivates microbial toxins of E. coli and Vibrio cholera. It modulates immune system response, promotes growth of bifidobacteria, suppresses gastric hormone activity and regulates blood circulation through antihypertensive and antithrombotic activity. Now, bioactive carbohydrates. Bioactive carbohydrates include bioactive polysaccharides and oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides represent a structurally diverse class of macromolecules of a relatively widespread occurrence in nature. They are mainly present as glucans with different types of glycosidic linkages, while others mostly bind to protein residues as oligosaccharide protein complexes. The most promising bioactivities of these biopolymers are the immunomodulation and anti-cancer effects. Dietary fibers are non-digestible disaccharides in food. There are different types like soluble dietary fiber and insoluble dietary fiber that are associated with a range of health benefits, including rates of absorption of glucose, dietary fat, and reabsorption of bile acid. This promotes improved glycemic control, lower plasma lipid, and reduced risk of diabetes and heart diseases. They also provide fuel for beneficial bacteria like bifidobacteria in large intestine and produce short-chain fatty acid that restrict the growth of unbeneficial species of bacteria. Common soluble dietary fibers are fructooligosaccharides, common name inulins, isomalto-oligosaccharide, common name lactidol, lactosucrose, common name lactulose, soya oligosaccharides that are pyrodextrins, oligofructose, trans-galacto-oligosaccharide, xylo-oligosaccharides. The insoluble dietary fibers are like xylem, which are less fermented, dilute colonic content, and speed colonic transit. They play an important role in the prevention of constipation and reduce the risk of cancer. Next category is bioactive lipid. The first is butyric acid. Butyric acid is commonly found as a part of milk lipid and also a main byproduct of butyric fermentation. Substrate used for growth and regeneration of cells in large intestine. It has anti-colon cancer properties, probably through enhanced apoptosis of mutant colonic cells. The next category of bioactive component is carotenoids. Carotenoids are organic pigments that are found in the chloroplast and chromoplast of plants, in photosynthetic organisms like algae, some bacteria, and also in fungi. It can be produced from fats and other basic organic metabolic building blocks by all these organisms. We can divide the carotenoids into two different classes. One is the xanthophylls and another one is the carotenes. Xanthophylls are the oxygen-containing carotenoids, for example, lutein and zeaxanthin. The second category, carotene, are unoxygenated carotenoids, for example, alpha-carotene, beta-carotene, and lycopene. In plants, these carotenoids can occur in roots, stem, leaves, flowers, and fruits, and they have following beneficial properties in the human health. The first beneficial property is they can act as an antioxidant. Antioxidants play a very important role for the human body because due to the lifestyle, the oxidative stress is occurring in our body, and antioxidants in the form of dietary can help to balance these oxidative stress. Second, 4 carotenoids named beta-carotene, alpha-carotene, gamma-carotene, and beta-cryptoxanthin, they possesses the vitamin A activity. Means in body, these carotenoids can be converted into the vitamin A. As you all know, the vitamin A is required for vision in the dim light. Third, the beta-carotene protects human body against different kinds of skin cancer. Again, lutein, astaxanthin, zeaxanthin, these carotenoids can directly absorb the damaging blue and near ultraviolet light in order to protect the macula of retina. Next, the lycopene is a very famous carotenoid and mainly found in the tomato. It protects against the prostate cancer and other different types of cancer. It can also inhibit the tumor cell growth in the animal. Different carotenoids are found that they can decrease the level of cholesterol in blood, as increased level of cholesterol is directly related to the attack of coronary heart diseases. So, it may be said that carotenoids protect against the coronary diseases. They also have the anti-cancer properties. The conjugated linoleic acid is a bioactive lipid. It's a collection of positional and geometric isomers of cis-9, cis-12 octa-deca-dienoic acid with a conjugate double bond system. Milk fat is the richest natural source of conjugated linoleic acid. It has anti-carcinogenic, anti-atherosclerosis, anti-diabetes, anti-obesity effect. It also helps in bone formation and modulate immune response. The next bioactives are bioactive vitamin. All the vitamins are required by human body in small amount for maintaining normal growth. On the basis of solubility, vitamins can be divided into two categories: fat-soluble vitamins and water-soluble vitamins. Among fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A helps to initiate vision in the dim light. Vitamin E possesses antioxidant activity and essential for normal reproduction. Vitamin K is necessary for normal clotting of blood, and vitamin D helps in increased absorption, retention and utilization of calcium and phosphorus in body. Among water-soluble vitamins, niacin is a pellagra preventive factor. The folic acid is essential for red blood cells development. Vitamin B12, that is also called anti-anemia factor, is essential for formation and maturation of red blood cells. Vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin that is essential for formation and maintenance of collagen, dentin and cartilage. Bioactive mineral. Dietary minerals possesses bioactivity as they are part of structural components of body tissues, two essential components of many enzymes and other biologically active molecules. Cations sodium and the anion chloride are required to maintain extracellular volume and plasma osmolarity. Potassium mineral has a critical role in membrane transport and carbohydrate and energy metabolism. Calcium is a mineral that helps in the formation of bones and teeth. Magnesium is a controlling factor in nerve transmission, skeletal and blood pressure. Iron participates in oxygen transport and storage, electron transfers and movement of oxygen from environment to body tissues. Zinc performs catalytic, structural and regulatory functions in proteins, nucleic acid and carbohydrate and lipid metabolism. Selenium is involved in many biological functions including thyroid, neural and immune function. It provides protection against oxidative stress and gastrointestinal disease. Iodine is an essential nutrient, but it has only one clearly established function, that is, a component of thyroid hormone. The silicon mineral is positively correlated with bone and mineral density. Now, next category of bioactive components is non-nutritive bioactives in food. Generally, the non-nutritive bioactives are health-promoting mixture of phytochemicals which acts as natural antioxidants. They protect DNA damage and modulate immune function. The first non-nutritive bioactive component is secondary metabolite. These are typical bioactive compounds in plants produced as secondary metabolites besides the primary biosynthetic and metabolic routes of compound. They are important for plant growth and development. Secondary metabolites are not necessary for the daily functioning of plant such as growth, but they play a very important role in the competition, defense, attraction and signaling. Polyphenols are secondary metabolites of fruits and vegetables. They are one of the important sources of bioactive components of human diet. Plants need them for pigmentation, growth, reproduction, resistance to pathogen, and for many other functions. But for human health, they have antioxidant properties through the scavenging of free radicals and inhibitory role in the various stages of tumor development. Phenolic acids are mainly found in blueberries, like other polyphenols, anthocyanins in large number of fruits and vegetables. Catechin, the important source of these are tea, grape seeds, cocoa beans. Flavonols are mainly found in apples, red wine, broccoli and tea. Isoflavones, polyphenols are mainly found in the soya products, proanthocyanidins in grapes, red wine, etc. Tannins, which are important in vegetables and fruits because they contribute towards enzymatic browning. And last is the resveratrol that is found in red wine, tea and nuts. Phytoestrogens. They mimic human estrogen and therefore are considered as natural selective estrogen receptor modulators. Two important groups of phytoestrogens are isoflavones and lignans. The main consumable plant source of these phytoestrogens found mainly in soya beans and flaxseed respectively. Other sources are sunflower and sesame seeds, various nuts, berries, garlic and carrots. They provide protection against bowel and non-hormonal cancers, cardiovascular diseases, osteoporosis, and used in treatment of menopause symptoms. The other secondary metabolites are alkaloids. They are heterocyclic, nitrogen-containing bitter compounds that possess anticholinergic activities. Saponins, they are lipid-soluble glycan and water-soluble sugar residue. They possess hypocholesteremic, anti-carcinogenic and immune stimulatory properties. Main sources are soya bean and chickpea. Monoterpenes. These are naturally occurring isoprenoids found in essential oils of citrus fruits, cherries, mint, and herbs, they decrease the incidence of chemically induced tumors in the skin, liver, lung, and breast. Glucosinolates and isothiocyanates. The glucosinolates are sulfur-containing pungent amino acid derived a glycan and exclusively found in cruciferous vegetables such as broccoli, sprouts, cabbage, and cauliflower. Isothiocyanates are enzymatic cleavage product of glucosinolates. They have been reported to protect against tumorigenesis in the lung, liver, stomach, and esophagus. They have anti-proliferative. They inhibit carcinogen-induced cancer formation and progression. Organosulphur compound. Garlic is the food source of organosulphur compounds. It favorably affects important risk factors for cardiovascular disease, decrease total and low density lipoprotein cholesterol, and triglyceride levels. They have antithrombotic effects and modestly decrease blood pressure. Mechanisms that explain the observed effects include a decrease in cholesterol and fatty acid synthesis and cholesterol absorption. The water-soluble organosulfur compounds allyl cysteine and allyl mercaptocysteine have potent antioxidant properties. Diallyl sulfide appear to be the bioactive components of garlic that exert the anti-carcinogenic effects. They stimulate glutathione S-transferase activity in the liver that binds to and detoxifies the potential carcinogens. Phytosterol. Phytosterols are structurally similar to cholesterol and present in the non-saponifiable fraction of plant's oil. They exist in two forms: unsaturated, that is very common and present in many plants. Second is saturated, called stanols, and found only in small amount in cereals, fruits, and vegetables. The phytosterols are not synthesized in humans. They are poorly absorbed and excreted faster from the liver compared to cholesterol, and due to their structural similarity to cholesterol, they compete with cholesterol absorption from the intestinal tract and reduce the serum cholesterol level in humans. Some antinutritional factors are also acts as bioactive compounds. They are antinutritional because they reduce digestibility and bioavailability of nutrients. These are enzyme inhibitor. These enzyme inhibitor earlier as anti-nutritional factor but now recognizing as bioactive compound because amylase inhibitor reduces utilization of dietary starch and can be potentially used as therapeutic in diabetes, inhibitors of the serine proteases, trypsin and chymotrypsin are important as they inhibit the chemically induced carcinogenesis. The second is phytic acid. Its name is myo-inositol hexaphosphate. It's a major phosphorus storage form in the plant. It acts as an anti-carcinogen, decreases the risk of heart diseases, diabetes. Pulses which have a high content of phytate located in the protein bodies in the endosperm are rich source of phytic acid. Now students, we have come to the conclusion part of our module. So, In this module, we have learned that bioactive molecules are component of food that possesses different biological activities. The bioactive compounds regulate metabolic functions in the body and results in the better health. The biological activities that these bioactive molecules possess are antioxidant activity, antimicrobial activity, antihypertensive activity, ACE inhibitory activity, and the opioid activity. At last, we can say that these bioactive molecules can serve as a potential functional ingredient because nowadays the consumers are demanding the functional food replacement of nutritional food because the functional food provides the health benefit with the nutritional components. Thank you.